We live out in the county. It's kind of country. We have cornfields, hay fields, and cotton fields whenever that time comes around. It's a 2-story house, and when you walk in the back door, you have stairs that lead straight up. It's our rooms on the top, and the restroom is right by the stairway. If you walk straight, my room is right there to the left. I was asleep. It was 1, 2, 3 in the morning, somewhere around that time. I had got up to go to the restroom. I was walking, and I always look down the stairs. Why, I don't know, but I always look down the stairs. I thought I saw a shadow, but I was half asleep, so I was like, maybe I'm not seeing things right. Something's going on. Is my mind playing tricks on me? I squinted my eyes and looked even closer. When I did that, I saw on our staircase a big black shadow. It looked like it was about 6 foot, real broad in shoulders, kind of buff. That's how it looked. They were leaning against the stairs. Am I seeing that? Maybe it's just my imagination. Then I saw them walk to the side, from the side of the stairs to the front where you come up. I saw it start walking up. And I was like, oh my God, this is not my imagination. I ran in the restroom because I was right there. But when I finally came out of the restroom, I turned my head, looked down the stairs again. I saw the shadow walking up. I ran to my room. I closed the door. I called my husband. Can you please come home from work? I'm so scared. I saw something. Something is not right. This is not how it's supposed to be. I'm freaking out. I just need you to come home, please. Like, make sure everything's okay. When my husband came home, he said that he didn't see anything. Everything was fine. So I told my mom about it. My mom actually prayed over the house. Her and my husband just felt the hair on the back of their neck stand up. They go, I don't know what it is. We couldn't figure out why I would see something. My sister, her and her boyfriend at the time were having problems. They had separated. She went to go spend the night at a friend's house. That morning, the friend woke up and told my sister that he had a dream. He saw this big black shadow. He described the shadow to me, and it was the exact same way I saw the shadow here at my mom's house, coming up the stairs. How can I see the shadow and then you see that same shadow? My sister and her ex-boyfriend at the time, they worked everything out. They were together. My sister said that she had woke up. She saw a shadow on the wall. The way she described it was the same shadow that I saw, the same shadow that her friend had saw in his dream. The only person who saw it more than once was my sister, but it was before I had saw it. She had always thought that she was just seeing things. When she had told her boyfriend about it, he goes, oh yeah, that's the shadow that I've seen before. That shadow has been following me for years. I don't know why. My mom prayed over everybody. She prayed over my sister's apartment. We never saw the shadow again, but we could never figure out why all 3 of us saw that shadow when it was supposed to be following the boyfriend at the time. We didn't understand what's going on, that we're all seeing it. My mom was like, maybe someone put a bojadilla on him. That was our first instinct. Maybe someone put something on you. He's like, well, I've had it follow me for years. He's seen it for so long. He just thought it was just going to be part of him for the rest of his life. We were freaking out. Why would this shadow follow you and then come to the house and someone see it in their dreams? It was just so creepy. It's so hard to even explain the feelings you feel when you see something like that, than to have 2 other people see the same thing in 2 different places. I was scared. I want to say for 6 months, I was scared to even look down the stairs because I was always worried that I was going to see a shadow, just that same shadow again. After that, I was like, I'm not going to look down those stairs anymore. What if I see something? I don't want to go through that again. But after those months that went by, everything was okay. Everything calmed down. No one saw the shadow again. It happened in the same house where we've seen stuff and heard things on our cameras that we have around the house. We have them in the front, on both sides, and on the back of the house. We have a patio on the back of our house, and it's not covered, it's just a concrete patio. We have a real big bright light out there so we can see everything. We make sure there's no animals and stuff coming up to the back of the house. My mom was like, oh, look at this video. You can see all these orbs flying around in the back of it. And I was like, Mom, you didn't see that? She was like, well, what are you talking about? See what? I go, look on the shadow, and you can see it looks like somebody's walking. You see the shadow of their legs, but you don't see nobody there. It looks like when you're walking in your driveway and it's sunny, your shadow, all you see is your legs on the ground. That's exactly what we saw on the patio at nighttime. My tias and everybody, they're like, y'all's house is haunted. I don't think it's haunted, but there's stuff that's going on out here where we live. We catch a lot of weird things here. We're kind of like, it's whatever. We've seen it, we've heard it. We're used to weird things going on. I tell my mom, if I see another shadow, then yeah, we're definitely out of here. Other than that, we're all used to it, seeing the orbs on the cameras and everything like that. No one's scared. My kids, they're not scared to be here. At a house that we lived at before, I was 4 or 5. It was 98, 99. We had lived in another 2-story house. This one was real old. The house was built in the 40s or 50s. It had a kitchen, a big dining room, a den, and then you had your living room, 2 bedrooms, and upstairs, 3 small bedrooms up there. It was this old yellow house. That's what we always called it, the yellow house. At first, everything was fine. Then there was one night, my mom had heard this woman screeching or yelling. She had woke up my daddy, and my daddy was like, oh, it's just a bottle outside. The wind's probably blowing on it. Just go to bed. It'll be okay. My mom went back to sleep. Some time had went by. My daddy was at work. He worked nights. And it was me, my mom, and my sister. We were all laying in bed. I was asleep, and my mom heard the loud screeching noise again. And she turned to my sister and was like, did you hear that? She goes, yeah, I heard it. She heard it again, but this time it was louder and even uglier than before. She grabbed me and ran out of the house, got her keys, and they went to my grandparents' house. They knocked on the door, and my grandma was like, Mia, what's going on? She goes, we heard something, Mom, in the house. I'm not going back home. She goes, well, you must have been in a hurry. You don't have your shoes on or you have your purse. She left it. She just grabbed the keys, and we were trying to get out of there. My mom had told my tia about it. My tia was like, well, sister, you need to stand your ground. You need to pray. You need to fight it. Have a spiritual battle against this spirit. Let them know that this is your house and that they're not welcome here. They need to leave you and your family alone. My mom was said, okay. She was asleep. We were all laying down. My daddy wasn't there. He was at work again. She heard that woman yell again, doing that screeching noise. My mom got up. She said a prayer for herself. She prayed over me and my sister. She was like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to fight this. She had spirit. I don't know who you are or what you want with me and my family, but you need to leave us alone. This is our house. You need to leave this house. You're not going to bother us. We are not scared of you. We are not leaving. We are protected by the blood of Jesus. My mom kept doing that. She kept saying it. She heard the lady screeching get lower and lower, where it finally stopped completely. Some time had went by again. My daddy had woke up. He told my mom, do you hear that? I hear a woman yelling. She turned around and told my dad, no, I don't hear anything. It's probably just a bottle outside that the wind's blowing on whistling. But after my mom had prayed, we never heard that woman yell again. My mom got curious. She worked at a diner where a lot of older people would go in the morning. She started asking them if they knew anything about our house. They said the house used to be where a woman would have babies at, like a ward, and it had become a funeral parlor where we would be sitting at watching TV in the den. That's where they would go in to view the bodies at. They were like, if you hear something in the house, it wouldn't be surprising to us due to the fact that it used to be a hospital where they would deliver babies, and then a funeral home. No telling what's probably attached to that house or something that's not letting go for whatever reason. We were redoing the floor to figure out how old this house was. My dad had picked up a corner of the linoleum, and it was a newspaper under the floor, like for base. We could read. My dad actually had found an article about our house that we were living in that newspaper. I don't remember what it had said, but he told me and my sister, this should tell you how old this house is, and no telling what's happened in this house, to see that there's newspaper under the floor that they've used in place of tarp stuff they put under for flooring, like for a laminate. Our cousins, we all grew up real close together. They were always spend the night at our house. But a lot of them have even said as well, they had heard things, footsteps creaking. And my always thought was, oh, it's just the old house. My dad would say, it's just the old house, babe. Don't worry about it. It's probably just the floors. And as I got older, I was like, well, if it's the floors, why are the floors making noise? You could hear footsteps in that house as well. But not long after that, we ended up moving out of the house. I kind of feel is that whatever my family has done in the past and things they've seen, I feel like sometimes we can see more of it because we have more of a understanding, or we see things. I've always believed that like if we do a lot of bad, that we're going to see things or something's going to happen, because that's what we were always taught. I've had an aunt way before I was born. She had been followed by the Lachusas and everything. I had told my mom, we've talked about it before, I go, I don't think we were followed by anything. I really believe that it was just the house, I said, because every house that's an older house has a backstory that we don't know about. Something that goes on in there that's happened that we have no idea. Some people don't even know what goes on. I said, so I'm sure things get attached in these houses, or sometimes they're wanting help, or sometimes they're just bad spirits and we're there and they think that we're just bothering them. That's what happened with my grandpa and two of his cousins, where he had said that, because we were always told, like, see an owl, you don't cuss at it, like, you leave it alone, you just keep walking, because you cuss at it or you say anything, like, they're gonna come and attack you. So anytime I see an owl, I'm just like, yep, nope, we're just gonna keep going. I believe that because my grandpa and our two cousins, when they were younger, they were going to a bar and they were walking and they saw this big owl. My grandpa was like, man, that's a lachusa, like, paseoate, like, don't mess with it. His cousins started cussing at it in Spanish, and they were like, well, you can stay out here and mess with it. We're going to go inside. They went inside, and when they came back, his cousin was beat up. It looked like he had got into a fight. His shirt was tore up, and they asked him what happened. What was going on? We weren't even gone that long. He had said he had kept cussing at the lachusa. It came flying towards him and picked him up from his shirt and was dropping him. After that, I was like, oh yeah, they're definitely real. I see an owl. I'm never cussing at it. I'm just going to keep walking, act like I don't see it. Everything will be okay.